Well, good evening, everybody. We want to get you updated on what's going on weather-wise across the area. You know, we are in a weather-first weather alert for the overnight hours into tomorrow morning with the potential of thunderstorms. But we're thinking that as we head through the remainder of the evening, it probably isn't going to be terrible for us locally, but there are some areas that we have concerns about, and there are some contingencies that we'll talk about here. First of all, let's take a look at this risk area through the overnight hours until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're still a part of this level 3 enhanced risk in St. Louis, but again, it's a conditional threat. So the potential is there for severe weather. It seems like the ingredients are there, but we have to get thunderstorms to blow up and really engage with those ingredients. Right now, that's happening and has happened through the afternoon and evening hours across parts of northeast Missouri, west central portions of Illinois, up into Iowa. And now we watch this area from the Ark-La-Tex into the Ozarks here for the potential of some stronger thunderstorms. Now, everything's on the table as far as your threats go. I mean, we could be talking about wind gusts, we could be talking about large hail, we could be talking about a few tornadoes. But we have to get the storms to form and interact with the available ingredients. That we're not certain is going to be happening as we head through this evening. So the rain chances really running about 15 to 20%, at least through midnight. Pretty slim chances. We drop back into the 70s, but it's a gusty breeze that sticks with us. And so with that breeze, that tends to keep things mixed up. Looking up to the north here, there you've got some of those thunderstorms, and that's actually a confirmed tornado that is up there in central portions of Illinois. Let me get you out just a little bit farther out and you can take a look at that. That's actually heading towards Peoria. The tornado itself, big circulation there, is between Canton and Buckhart there. This is, of course, up just to the west and southwest of the Peoria area. So again, not in our viewing area for sure. But what we are seeing, a few showers and thunderstorms here, moving up Highway 44 towards the Rolla area. Yes, they've had some lightning with them. There might even be a little bit of small hail in here. But again, as they get closer to St. Louis, even though there is a fair amount of moisture, instability, the lift part of this to keep these storms growing and intensifying seems to be missing something at this point. So while there may be a strong storm or two, and again, I'll give you that lightning, so you can see there's still a fair amount of cloud to ground lightning with that. But while this is pushing off to the north and east, it's not showing any signs whatsoever of intensifying. If anything, it's showing signs of kind of wimping out on us, which is not really what you would expect given the scenario that's set up across the region with the fact that we've been in the mid-80s this afternoon and we have some moisture around as well. We look down towards Springfield, and again, we had those showers coming up from Branson, so you still have them down there. And here's the line of thunderstorms developing up to the northwest of Kansas City out towards St. Joe, and then back up towards the Des Moines area. So you've got this area up here that's pretty intense, and then you've got the other area in central portions of Illinois that's pretty intense. We're still waiting to see what develops down here to the southwest of St. Louis. This is kind of the wild card. Remember, that's a moderate risk as you go down into the Ozarks and then down into Arkansas. But there's no guarantee that we're going to see the severe storms there. It all just depends on how these ingredients come together. We know it's warm outside. Temperatures are still in the mid-70s, even low 80s around St. Louis as of 7 o'clock this evening. But here's the key. Moisture is one thing you really need to get thunderstorms going. And we'd like to see at least a dew point of 60. The higher in the 60s or into the 70s you get, the more moisture that's available. So we have had today a good return of moisture across the area. And so we do have dew points that are in the low to mid 60s right now. So that should be adequate enough to keep these thunderstorms going. But instead, we have not seen them strengthen across our region. Now, on the cold side of this system, it's a whole nother ballgame. Blizzard conditions up into the Dakotas, northern portions of Minnesota. Some of those stronger storms, hail producers, are getting into the southeast corner now of Minnesota and heading into Wisconsin. And there's your intense thunderstorm that's pretty close to Peoria. And again, we just look at this whole area down to our south and southwest here, kind of waiting to see if that's going to be able to really get things going. Odds are we need this front to push in here to really be the instigator of showers and thunderstorms. And absent of anything else that's going to create lift to make these storms grow down to our south and southwest, it may be that front that ends up doing it for tomorrow morning. So outside of a few scattered showers and thunderstorms going through the overnight hours here, right now we're thinking the main show is remaining to our north and west, right along that front as it pushes in from the west. So most of us probably are not going to see a whole lot of rainfall as we head through the overnight hours, most of us. Now there's still that chance we'll pop a stray shower or a thunderstorm. And as we head to tomorrow morning, that front gets into the middle part of Missouri around 6 o'clock. And we think about that time, we'll have some showers and thunderstorms in St. Louis. This is not the most favorable time for severe weather, of course. You don't have the peak daytime heating, so you've lost a little bit of that instability, but we do have strong winds aloft, and you have that front kind of acting as the force to create lift, so you may be able to compensate. So there is the potential as we head into tomorrow morning. We could have a few squally winds with these thunderstorms. There might even be a rotation in some of them. But again, right now, it's all kind of conditional. Determined, you know, it's a to be determined kind of scenario that's playing out here as we go into tomorrow. By 1 o'clock, the front is in the Metro East, and the line of showers and thunderstorms likely clearing the Interstate 57 corridor and pushing away. So tonight, what we're thinking here, we're definitely in our weather first weather alert. We have evening isolated thunderstorms, maybe into the overnight hours. Again, if we can get it to, to tap that energy, strong to severe if it happens, but that's a big if. Scattered storms are expected early on Wednesday, and that's when we have our next round of potential strong thunderstorms that would be a little more widespread than anything we would see overnight. I think if we see anything that's severe overnight, it's going to be pretty isolated. So your threat areas generally shifting through the morning hours east and southeast of St. Louis as we head through Wednesday. Now, nighttime tornadoes. I don't think we're going to see a lot of those around our area overnight tonight or into tomorrow, but it's always a good reminder from midnight to sunrise. It's 2.5 more times likely to be a deadly tornado than daytime tornadoes because, it's hard to see them at night. You can't really easily see them. There are fewer spotters that are out there because there's more risk to them at night. And of course, you're sleeping. The other folks aren't, but most people are asleep. And so when you're sleeping, you're not really aware of what's going on with the storms out there. So we need to make sure that you have that way, just to be prepared in the event something happened. I'm not saying it's going to happen tonight, probably won't, but make sure you have that 5 on your side app and set the app to get your notifications. Then have a weather radio. That'll definitely wake you up. You tune in, link directly to the National Weather Service. As soon as they push that button to send out that warning, your radio goes off. If that warning is a tornado warning, or it's a considerable or catastrophic flash flood warning, or a, catastrophic severe thunderstorm warning, it's going to go off on your phone. So you want your phone set to where you can hear it. You're going to go to notifications. You're going to scroll to the bottom, and you're going to see the government alerts. So you want the emergency alerts on, and especially the public safety alerts. You may have heard the Amber Alert, if you have this set today, makes those tones that sounds like you're being abducted. So it'll happen too with tornado warnings anywhere in the country if you've got cell service, or significant flash flooding, or one of those considerable damage, baseball size hail or larger, or 80-mile-per-hour winds or larger, severe thunderstorm warning. So we go into Thursday here. We're cooler. We're only around 60 for the highs, kind of that mix of sun and clouds as we trek through the day on Thursday, heading into the Easter weekend. And here's the deal. It really does look like the weekend overall is going to turn out to be pretty nice. We're still at 83 in St. Louis. Officially, the dew point's at 61. Look at your wind. Out of the south at 26 miles per hour. So that is really whipping that moisture up and in here. And then we have the high today of 85 and the low of 65 degrees. So here's a look at your forecast for overnight. An isolated strong storm is certainly possible through the overnight hours. We're not anticipating this being widespread, but an isolated storm's there. Look how warm it is. Temperatures tonight staying in the 60s to around 70 degrees, maybe even low 70s out ahead of that front off to the southeast of St. Louis. Then we have that chance for a morning thunderstorm here on Wednesday, and then skies will start to clear later in the day, around 70, maybe 72, 73 in the morning, and then as those winds swing more towards the west, and eventually later in the day, the northwest. Temperatures will be dropping off. So over the course of the next 7 days, getting into Easter weekend here, Passover begins as we head into sundown Wednesday, and it should be dry. Once Passover begins, dry weather expected. As we head into Thursday, it's kind of chilly. Temperatures will likely be in the upper 30s to around 40. Early Friday morning, it's not out of the question to see a little bit of scattered frost in some of the colder spots, but we should make it back into the mid-60s, close to 70 on Saturday. Easter Sunday looks like mid-70s, and maybe a few showers around Sunday night into Monday morning, but it doesn't look like a big rain chance next week. Looks like the pattern after this weather system swings through may settle down for a little bit around the St. Louis area. So that's what we're looking at this point. And again, bottom line here as we head through the nighttime hours tonight is we want you to stay safe. Just be prepared in the event any of these storms actually strengthen and become a bit more intense. We don't think that there's going to be widespread severe weather as we go through the nighttime hours tonight. And again, that risk is certainly there, but that is not a huge risk for St. Louis based on what we're seeing right now. It just looks like if we can get a stronger storm to develop, then the potential's there that it could be severe. So again, we're tracking these storms coming up from the southwest. So it's been a little noisy here down along Highway 63 in the Rolla area. But as you see, the leading edge of that has lost a lot of its lightning here. And so as you look south of Rolla, that cell's still a little stronger. We'll take the lightning off and just kind of see that cell there pushing just east of Highway 63 over into Dent County. As this tries to get to St. Louis, we probably will, on the western side of the metro area, have a little bit of mainly lighter rain out of this. At this point, because these continue to show signs of weakening, that's clearly telling us that all those ingredients for severe weather are not coming together in this particular scenario at this particular moment. That doesn't mean that something can't change in the next couple of hours, but as this activity continues to move northeast and it weakens a bit, that does limit how much we can see as we go through the rest of the overnight, we think. So metro area, pretty quiet right now. There's a couple of little spritzes here down along 55, Peevely, Festus area. They're trying to cross the river into Monroe County. So you might get a quick shower there, but then you look down to the southwest and still kind of tracking this action there. And then the stronger thunderstorms that are up there into northwestern portions of Missouri. That's along that line that we'll be watching. And then, of course, around the Peoria area, looking at that severe thunderstorm there. So that's kind of where we are at this point. We're going to let you go for now. But, of course, we are going to continue to monitor the situation as we head through the evening hours. Quiet in St. Louis right now, 83 degrees. Our high today, 85. So close to the record. Record high today was 1929, 87 degrees. So only 2 degrees off the record high this afternoon. Unusually warm for this time of year. And with the dew points in the low 60s, you can feel that moisture. So we'll just stay alert here through the evening hours. We don't really think there's going to be widespread severe weather. And so we're going to kind of stick with that until Mother Nature proves otherwise. And of course, we'll be along tomorrow morning for Today in St. Louis. That begins at 4 a.m. Gary Frank and Anthony Slaughter both here in the Weather First Weather Center to keep you updated as we head into tomorrow morning. So we think most of the night, while there may be a few rumbles of thunder, most of the active weather is going to be very early tomorrow morning. And by lunchtime, I think we'll be starting to clear out from the west and things will improve from there on.